Yeah, I mean, principally what we see is a very strong population growth. I mean, in the past and in the future, in the Middle East, we see actually a very young population due to that in the Middle East. We see women entering the workforce. We see an increasing or a more significant number of expatriate workers in the Middle East. We see increasing education levels in the Middle East. And of course, what we should not forget, a very high penetration of smartphone users. It's around 80%. So a very strong requirement in the Middle East is clearly mobile first. And the new middle class are looking for new extended wealth management services, I mean, for accumulation. And historically, I mean, they do a lot of execution only. That is not sufficient. Maybe 20 to 30% of the wealth can be managed on execution only, but for the rest of the 70%, there should be actually established advisory services, and that should be actually available within an online end-to-end system. The Middle East is actually developing really nicely. So all the banks have actually realized that there is a huge chance of digitalization of their services. So the demand for online services, for online banking has tremendously picked up. I mean, during COVID-19, we have actually seen that banks have tripled their revenues from this source or from this revenue channel tremendously. So all the banks realize nowadays in the Middle East that they have to do something. And when I'm looking around what all the big banks are doing in the Middle East, they're taking this topic really seriously, and they're building up big infrastructure and big services in this field. So that is a very strong trend. Before COVID-19, there were still discussions. I think today there is not at one bank, there is actually discussion that this is a need and the requirement of the client which they have to cover. Yeah, I mean, additives put actually the Middle East last year in spring very much on the radar, and we have started to actually reach out to clients and prospects, and we have actually established an office in the DIFC. I mean, as we speak, it is just the office has been established and gone live. So that is one thing to express our commitment to this market. Additives offering, I mean, what is needed, what has to be covered. I mean, one thing, it has to be segment specific, so we must be able to cover the low retail up to middle class or actually high-end clients. So our offering is actually can cover both client segments. That is one thing which is very important. The second thing is what is very important is actually that we will cover execution only, advisory and discretionary. And our service model is actually self-service oriented, so a client can actually choose to self-service everything. And the second thing is as well hybrid, supported with a relationship manager. The higher the client segment's getting, the more important is that this client can actually have support from a relationship manager. So both service models are fully integrated in our solution, and I think that is a very important driver. And I mean, that means all the browsing, chatting, communication functionalities within our DFS platform are already built in. I mean, chatting, for example, just to give an example, is covered with OnBlue. So that, I think, is something where we stand out to the competition.